what kind of firearm did our flint once serve? Our investigation tells us that flint sizes for muskets and pistols generally range from half an inch to 1 1/8 of an inch, approximately 12.7 to 28.6 millimeters, that is. Muskets typically employed larger flints, often around 3/4 of an inch or 7/8 of an inch wide, while pistols used smaller ones from half an inch to 5/8 of an inch. Our flint, however, measures 32 millimeters or 1 1/4 inch. We found that a 1 1/4 inch wide Flintlock flint was commonly used in larger calibers and heavier recoil associated muskets and wall guns, specifically those of the type used in the British Army, for instance the land pattern musket nicknamed Brown Bess, as you see depicted here. The word Bess was, like the term arquebus, derived from the Dutch term Hagebus. The Brown Bess was the standard long gun for the British Empire's land forces from 1722 until 1838, as well as for many other forces. It was used by both sides in the American War of Independence. It was also used in many other wars, such as the Finnish War by the Swedes, the Musket Wars by the Maori warriors, the Texas Revolution by the Mexican Army, the First Opium War by the Indian rebels, and the Anglo-Zulu War by the Zulu warriors. Firearms for the 18th century Dutch army were mostly locally made, but were also imported from Germany and England. Our flint may have served a British gun, but there's a strong argument, however, for the flint itself at least not to have been produced in Britain. We'll get back to why that is later in the video. Also, let's consider the possibility of it having been used for a heavy wall gun. Remember that in our dig site area there used to be a Ravelin structure that was built between 1771 and 1778. The wall gun was a scaled up version of a standard infantry musket, operating under the same principles, but with a bore of up to 1 inch caliber. This image shows the difference between a regular musket, in this case percussion cap type, on top, and the wall gun Flintlock type below. Wall guns fill the gap in firepower between the musket and the lightest artillery pieces, such as the swivel gun. The largest musket ball we found at the site measured approximately 20 mm or around 0.8 inch, which is the upper range size for a regular musket, whose ammunition commonly ranged from 0.54 to 0.8 inches in diameter. Anyway, I'll conclude with an appeal to firearm experts. Can you tell us more about the possible type of front-loading weapon our flint could have belonged to? And let us know in the comments. Now, for the thrilling part, dating our discovery. We employed a combination of proven archaeological techniques: typology, habitation history, comparative dating and seriation. First up, typology. We know that the earliest flint-operated gun was the snaplock, which originated in the early 16th century. It differed from the flintlock only in the mechanism that ignites the gunpowder. The first real flintlock is believed to have been invented by the French court gunsmith Marie Le Bourgeois in 1610 for the French King Louis XIII. The one you see here is a 10-year-old version by the same gunsmith for the same king. Wow, we were right. We know that the flintlock firearms were largely replaced by percussion cap firearms in the early to mid-19th century. This gives us an initial time window of 1500 to 1850. Now we'll have a look at the habitation history of the dig site. Here you see an overview of all periods for which evidence of human activity has been found in the dig site area. We just established, however, that our find can't be earlier than the 16th century. We also know that it was only in the late 17th and 18th centuries that the dig site area was intensively used by humans again, this time as an army exercise ground. The presence of military training here for centuries provides a strong contextual link. Based on this, we'll further narrow down the time window to 1700 to 1850. Next up, comparative dating. This is where other finds in the area become useful. We've unearthed coins in the vicinity, a 1788 Deutsch from Utrecht province and a 1941 zinc 1-cent coin. While the latter is much later, the 1788 Deutsch combined with the multiple musket balls, a square nail, a type which was used until around 1830, strongly points to significant activity in the 18th century. Based on this, we'll tighten our dating estimate further to 1750 and until 1850 Common Era. Finally, seriation. This technique compares the styles and designs of similar artifacts over time. Interestingly, most muzzleloader flints are found without their lead wrappers. And while both the flint and lead wrapper designs did evolve, the specific combination of our intact flint with its wrapper is less common, making it harder to use seriation to pinpoint a precise year. However, based on one specific characteristic of our flintstone, we can finally narrow down the time window to the late 18th century to early 1800s, also referred to as the French era in the Netherlands. Keep watching to discover what exact clue helped us. The very color of our flint can tell us something profound about who might have carried it. Grey-black to truly black flints predominantly originated from Brandon, a major production hub in Suffolk County on the east coast of England. It was during the Napoleonic Wars that Brandon profited most from flint. Their black flint was of the best quality and therefore very suitable for reliable performance in flintlocks. All the gun flints used in the British guns, which wrought havoc among Napoleon's cavalry and infantry, were solely made in Brandon. A Brandon flint was reckoned to be good for 50 shots, far exceeding its rivals. However, our flint, with its distinctive yellowish to cream color, was not produced in the UK. It is known as Silex Blond de Berry. Berry, a former French province which existed until 1790, is located in the modern-day department of Loire-et-Cher. These Silex Blond de Berry flints were primarily used by the armies of the French Revolution and, crucially, by Napoleon's vast forces and their allied forces. Renowned for their quality and reliability, these flints were a strategic imperative for muskets and other firearms of that era. The insatiable demand created by the French Revolution and Napoleon's relentless military campaigns transformed the Berry region into a vital production center, making a reliable supply of these flints a critical objective for any government. This brings us directly to the French-Batavian times, spanning from 1794 to 1814. In the harsh winter of 1794 to 1795, the French Revolutionary Army swept into the Batavian Republic. The Dutch stadholder William V famously fled to England via the Scheveningen port, leaving the Netherlands to fall under French dominion as the Batavian Republic, essentially becoming a French province. In 1806 the Republic lost even that semblance of independence when Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte declared it the Kingdom of Holland and installed his brother, Louis Napoleon, as king. He also gave The Hague city status. During this tumultuous period, Dutch armed forces were incorporated into the French military structure, notably through units like the Batavian Legion, which became the 3e Demi-Brigade d'Infanterie Légère as part of l'Armée du Nord. Sorry for butchering the French language a little bit here. The French even introduced mandatory military service in the Batavian Republic. Our flint, therefore, could have been carried by a French soldier or by an allied Dutch soldier, training or stationed here right in Scheveningen during that pivotal period of European history. The Napoleonic Wars came at a heavy cost. Stagnating trade, the departure of the royal court to Amsterdam in 1808, and the crushing financial burden plunged The Hague into poverty, halting its population growth. Resistance simmered, growing stronger after the annexation of the Netherlands into the French Empire in 1810. Finally, in 1813, Napoleon faced defeat at Waterloo and the French departed. Immediately thereafter, the Prince of Orange, son of the last stadholder, landed right here at Scheveningen harbour to be declared King William I, re-establishing The Hague as the monarchy's seat. So, to wrap up this story, we've now determined our little artifact, unearthed from the sands of Scheveningen, is unequivocally a flintlock flint, a vital component of a muzzleloader gun like a musket. Our flint dates from the 18th century and originates from the former French province of Berry. It was very likely used by the Napoleonic armies or their allied Dutch forces of the Batavian Republic from 1795 to 1806, right during that transformative period in European history. But one question remains, a final part of the puzzle. In what specific type of gun was this flint used? Was it a standard infantry musket, a cavalry carbine, a wall gun, or something else entirely? We challenge you to give us your clues and insights in the comments below. Thanks for sticking with us on this journey from speculation to fact-driven discovery. If you enjoyed it, you'll love our next episode, where we try to uncover the secrets of a strange find from the Danube riverbanks in Germany. Click the link on your screen or in the description to watch it now. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Small Things Big and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. See you then.